Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is Jets Media, and in this video, I'll be breaking down day 5 of New York Jets training camp, bringing you guys all the latest updates on the injuries, who is shining, who is struggling, who played well today, who did not play well today. You guys know the drill. This is episode 5 of the series I created on my channel, and I'm loving this. This is probably the favorite series I've ever created. I just wake up, look at all the tweets, and write down some notes, and I bring you guys my report on training camp. So, with that being said, let's jump right into today's report. All the injuries are the same, but there's 2 new injuries from today in Matthias Farley and Jordan Willis, and the injuries keep piling up. It's getting more unfortunate by the days. Adam Gase was asked when the timetable returned for Denzel Mims appeared this year, and he did not mention a day. He said they're going to be doing more individual drills on the sideline before they get back into team drills. So that's not a good sign for their return. I'm hoping by next week they will at least be doing individual drills because that's a good step. Adam Gase said whenever you see them on the sidelines doing individual drills, it's a positive sign because that means they're that much closer to getting on the field. So yeah, that really does it for the injuries. Matthias Farley, safety and special teams guy, out with the hamstring, and Jordan Willis, edge rusher, out with the knee injury. And Connor McDermott, who was a backup tackle who went down yesterday with a knee injury, MRI came back, and he will be out week to week. So that's a good thing that he's not out for the entire season. So he's our backup tackle. So going into training camp, the defense showed up today. The defense dominated the offense all throughout camp. Guys like Quinnen Williams and Marcus Maye and even the cornerbacks were flying all over the field. The wide receivers couldn't get open, and it looked like the offense struggled. And I think the offensive line is a big reason for that. Sam Darnold was under pressure throughout the entire practice, according to all the reporters. And yeah, so some players that are really shining so far in camp. 2 players on defense who I think are destined to have really good seasons for the Jets is Quinnen Williams and Marcus Maye. I think that these 2 players, especially in camp, I think Marcus Maye, according to all these reporters and the coaches, are just talking about Marcus Maye as he's the best player so far in camp. He's the one showing up, being so versatile. We know Jamal Adams is gone, so Marcus Maye is going to have a way more expanded role. He's not just going to be a deep free safety anymore. He's going to be lining up in the box. He had a sack today. He's going to be blitzing. He's going to be all over the field. He's matching up with guys like Chris Herndon, and that's a fun matchup to watch. So I think Marcus Maye is destined to have a breakout season this year. And Quinnen Williams, I want to talk about Quinnen Williams for a sec. Yesterday in an interview, he kept talking about he is in the best shape of his life. He had an insane offseason. He switched up his entire regimen of his nutrition. He switched up his entire regimen of his routine and workout. And Steve McClendon and all the defensive linemen, he was sending him training videos all throughout the offseason because he feels like he is in a really good shape and he wants to, quote-unquote, dominate the league. And he feels like last year it was more of his understanding of the defense and understanding the speed of the NFL. He got that out of the way. I think Quinnen Williams is destined to have a breakout season and prove why he was a 3rd overall pick. And I really think that Quinnen Williams has potential to be a really dominant interior defensive lineman in the entire league. You see what kind of shape he's in when he's getting interviewed. He's just like a big dude. He cut down on body fat and he added muscle mass. He's more quick, he's more powerful, and he has more finesse to him. And he is dominating this Jets offensive line in training camp. He's getting so many tackles for loss, and he's wrapping guys up. I think Quinnen Williams is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I know Jets fans were underwhelmed by his rookie performance. For a 3rd overall pick, we wanted to see him do more, but I think that his sophomore season is going to be completely different. Quinnen, he's in different shape, and he is destined to have a breakout season. I'm really excited for Quinnen Williams, and watching his interview, you can just tell he is so motivated and he has a chip on his shoulder to prove why he's a 3rd overall pick and why the Jets went and took him at that 3rd overall pick. And I really I don't know why, but Quinnen Williams, and a big reason why Quinnen Williams I think is going to break out, and a guy that's probably one of the most underrated players on this Jets team is Steve McClendon. Steve McClendon is the father of the entire defense. He is the guy, he's like the big brother, I would rather say. He is like another coach in a way. He coaches up Quinnen Williams, Foley Fatukasi. He coaches up all the young guys in the defensive line and the entire defense. He's a 34-year-old veteran. He plays well on the field as well, but off the field, he is like another coach. He is such, you know what I mean? Like, Quinnen Williams is so young. He goes to Steve McClendon. He's like, yo, Steve, like, what should I work on? What should I do this? It's like having another coach. So Steve McClendon, probably one of the most low-key acquisitions for the Jets. He's been a leader. He's been that veteran presence that this Jets defensive line needs, and he's a big reason why this Jets defense has been so good over the past years, especially the defensive line. Third run defense in the entire league last year. Steve McClendon was a big reason for that on the field and off the field, and I think that that's a big reason why Quinnen Williams is destined to have a breakout year, because he has guys like Big Steve in his ear. Greg Williams is going to unleash him, and Quinnen Williams just has all the confidence in the world, and that's what's going to really make or break Quinnen is his confidence. So yeah, Marcus Maye and Quinnen Williams, they are shining in camp. Cornerbacks finally played well today. Yesterday I said the cornerbacks were struggling, but today Bless Austin, Arthur Millette, Quincy Wilson, Nate Harrison, they're all shining. They were locking down the wide receivers today, and there was no separations from the wide receivers. They were all over the field. So that's a good sign that these cornerbacks are really developing and getting more comfortable in the system together, because, this cornerback spot is really weak for this Jets team. With the wide receivers and the cornerbacks are the two weakest positions on the Jets, and unfortunately they have injuries both sides. Pierre Desir's out, Denzel Mims, Vincent Smith, you guys know who's injured. So it's a positive sign that the cornerbacks are playing well. And yeah, the defensive line completely ate up the offensive line the entire practice. That's a good sign, but also a bad sign, because this offensive line really needs to get chemistry really fast. I mentioned this in my previous video. It's hard for 5 guys newly playing together to get chemistry in less than 4 weeks in play. So it's going to be a really interesting season, and I'm hoping they can really get chemistry as soon as possible. It's a good thing that they're going against the Jets defensive line and Greg Williams, because they keep sending exotic blitzes. Greg Williams just knows how to disguise coverage and stuff like that. So for this offensive line to go against the Jets defensive line every single day in practice, it's only going to make them better and better. But this Jets defensive line is eating them up. I mean, it shows like this Jets defensive line is way better than the Jets offensive line. But Sam Darnold, he didn't have the best day of practice because the Jets defense was all over him. He had constant pressure in his face. He actually had like a 25-yard scramble, and he actually started talking some smack after that because the Jets defense claimed that they had him in the backfield. But Sam Darnold ran, and he was talking crap to them. That's good that, there's some fire under Sam Darnold. He has that competitive fire under him. He's edgy. So that's funny thing to see that Sam Darnold's really getting some competitive fire under him throughout training camp. You want to see that. So yeah, Sam Darnold's playing well. He didn't have, like I said, the best training camp. Completion-wise, I think he just completed like 50% of passes, but, he showed off his legs in camp. And one guy I want to talk about who is really showing that he is developing is tight end Trevon Wesco. He was a rookie last year, and with Chris Herndon going down last year, he filled in for him, and he played alongside Ryan Griffin. And Adam Gase is raving about Trevon Wesco. He thinks that he's going to have a big role in this offense. He lines up as the fullback sometimes on the Jets. He is a really good run blocker, but he's also getting really good at catching the ball. He had a diving catch in practice yesterday, and I think that this tight end depth is going to be really deep for this Jets team, especially with guys like Ryan Griffin coming back. So we got Chris Herndon, Ryan Griffin, and Trevon Wesco, and Daniel Brown. Those are 4 quality tight ends, and I think Trevon Wesco is going to be a sleeper this year, and Adam Gase raves about him. And another negative I want to talk about, the kickers. The kickers are not playing well, unfortunately. Brett Maher and Sam Ficken are struggling in camp, so that's something to look out for. We all know the history of Jets kickers. They're not looking good, and we just hopefully Sam Ficken or Brett Maher, whichever one is the starting kicker week 1, can just hit extra points and hit clutch field goals. That's all I ask. It's just really frustrating. That really does it for this wrap-up of training camp. It was a really brief one. Tomorrow they have a day off. And Adam Gase talked after in the press conference. He was raving about Marcus Maye. He talked about him for like 2 full minutes of how versatile he is. And I think Marcus Maye is destined to have a breakout season. He also talked about Le'Veon Bell. Adam Gase said that Le'Veon Bell is definitely in the best shape out of anybody on the team. He's quick. He can run all day. And guys like Frank Gore is in crazy shape for a 37-year-old, and he was also raving about guys. And then assistant coach Hines Ward, who's a former wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's an all-time great, he was raving about Sam Darnold, saying that he has zip on the ball. He was talking about that this wide receiving group might not be the best, but we have a lot of speed. So it's good to see some positive sides of the coaching staff talking about guys, but to sum up this video of today's training camp, day 5, is the defense dominated the offense. And I wouldn't say this is a big issue. I mean, you don't want to read too much into training camp because now the offense sucks. Adam Gase sucks. The offense played really well up until today. And it's not going to be the offense beating the defense every single time. It's going to be here and there. The defense dominates, then the offense dominates, then it'll be equal. You want to see both sides having their days. You know what I mean? We don't want it to be one-sided. Sam Darnold lights up the defense every single practice because then the defense is struggling. We need the defense to really improve because we are missing guys like Jamal Adams and CJ Mosley. Our two best players on defense are not on the team anymore. CJ Mosley opted out, so this Jets defense is not going to be the same as last year. So it's good to see this Jets defensive line really wrecking havoc and proving why they were 7th overall last year. So I'm excited to see what Greg Williams can do with this defense. So yeah, that does it for this video. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of today's training camp, and let me know if you guys want to see more of this. I'm probably going to keep up the streak of whenever there's Jets training camp, I will be posting a video. Like I said, tomorrow they have a day off, so I will not be posting a video. I might get back into player profiles. I haven't made a player profile on guys like Avery Williamson. I'll go into some guys on the defensive line maybe, like Foley Fatukasi, Steve McClendon. I'm trying to think who else did I not do. I think Ryan Griffin I didn't do yet. Frank Gore I can do. There's a lot of names I can do on player profiles. So if you guys want to see more player profile videos, please leave a comment of who you want to see from me, because I've made a lot of them so far, but there's definitely more players I can definitely break down. So yeah, that really does it for this segment of Jets training camp. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I really appreciate all your guys' support. My channel has been taking flight, all because of you guys. I really am so thankful I started this channel a year ago today, and I'm so excited to bring you guys content all throughout the season, because I'm going to be bringing you guys flight previews before every game, my reaction after every game, and then content all throughout the week, all throughout the season. Whether the Jets are winning or losing, I will be here to talk about Jets football. So yeah, I'm going to finish off the video here. I appreciate you guys staying till the end, and that does it. So I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace.